And welcome once again to As the Reel Turns, your place for all things movie and television. I'm Daniel Saletti, and you will be your host. We have another great show, part of our big summer series this year, but before we go anywhere, let's go to our entertainment update. Take it away.
This is the ever-popular Pets.com sock puppet for your entertainment update. Today's update includes multiple deaths from the celebrity world. Let's get started. First, Mr. Paul Sorvino. Sorvino starred in the film Goodfellas, but also as Worf's adopted brother on Star Trek Next Generation. Next, David Warner. David Warner starred from everything from The Christmas Carol, to The Omen, to Titanic. But some of his most popular roles were in Star Trek. Starting as St. John Talbot in Star Trek V, Chancellor Gorkon in Star Trek VI, and then Gul Madred in a two-part episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. Probably the most popular Star Trek death most recently was that of Nichelle Nichols. Nichols played the ever-popular Lieutenant Uhura all the way from the original series to Star Trek VI. Her character has been succeeded in many other projects of Star Trek. Nichols also played a key role in NASA. Some other deaths include Tony Dow, who played the older brother Wally on Leave It to Beaver.
Well, that's because I'm in high school. You can do a lot of stuff in high school without getting the business.
And most recently, Olivia Newton-John, most famous for being in Grease and Xanadu.
Now that I'm here, now that you're near, in Xanadu.
That's a lot to swallow all of a sudden, isn't it? Also, a more, we'll say, comical death was that of the film Batgirl. The upcoming film was going to be produced by Warner Brothers and feature the first return of Michael Keaton as Batman. But thanks a lot, Warner Brothers. That's not going to happen anymore. This has been the ever-popular Pets.com sock puppet for your entertainment update. The celebrities will be sorely missed. Now, back to you, Daniel.
Yeah, that was a bit of a downer entertainment update, wasn't it? A lot of celebrities we've lost recently, and it's very sad. And you know what? I'm going to count that Batgirl movie as another death, because Warner Brothers, what the heck were you thinking? That looked good! But you can find some of the footage out there on YouTube and stuff like that, and I'm sure you'll be with me on that. It looked pretty darn good. But to everyone in that package, we're going to miss you all very much so. And also, I want to tag on Pat Carroll, who voiced Ursula in The Little Mermaid. Sad news there also. But let's get on to some more happier news now, or just happier news in general. We are continuing our summer series of doing one of the biggest franchises out there. Is celebrating 60 years this year, which is pretty cool, and it is one of my favorite franchises in the entire world. We are talking about part 3 of James Bond 007. Yes, so James Bond 007, like I said, celebrating 60 years this year, which is really impressive. And when I say celebrating 60 years, it's been 60 years on screen in the official Eon Productions, Ian Fleming films. If you have not seen parts 1 or 2 of this series we've done, definitely check them out. In part 1, we talked about Sean Connery and George Lazenby. And then in part 2, we talked about Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton. A lot of good films, and there might be some bad ones in there too, but check out those 2 episodes and then check out their films as well. They're, like I said, good ones and bad ones, absolutely. But today, as you saw there, we're going to be talking about the last 2 in the official franchise of James Bond. That being Pierce Brosnan and that other guy, Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig, yes, and you know, I'm probably going to get some backlash for not being the Daniel Craig fan here, but you know what? Someone here does know about Brosnan and Daniel Craig, and he's been with us for the other 2 episodes, and so I want to welcome back Christy Riley. Christy, thanks for joining us back again.
My pleasure.
And I'm glad you're here to talk about a Bond that certainly I'm not familiar with, and so maybe you can convert me. We'll see what happens by the end.
That ain't gonna happen.
Probably not. But you know what? Stranger things have happened. So let's just jump right into it now. So where we last left Bond was 1989 with Timothy Dalton doing License to Kill. License to Kill, people weren't ready for that type of serious Bond yet. So due to lack of interest, poor box office reviews, and contract issues, there was no other Bond. There was one planned for 1991, but it never went anywhere. And I just learned that Dalton was willing to come back, but for one movie, you know, kind of like to group the other 2 that he had done together and do a 3rd one. But MGM, Eon Productions said, no, Timothy, we need you to do more than just one. We can't have another Lazenby on our hands. So they said, okay, fine, and Timothy walks away, which is sad. Everybody wishes that he had done more films.
Me.
But this opens up the door to a gentleman that we talked about last time who had auditioned and that the producers had wanted for a long time, Mr. Pierce Brosnan. And he was done with his TV show Remington Steele, and he said, guys, I'll sign on, and thus we got 1995's GoldenEye. Now, the thing with GoldenEye is that it has a huge reputation of being this massively popular, fantastic, awesome, dare I say, best Bond film ever. Sure, it's a good movie. In fact, I like it when a lot of the films in any franchise do this little extra bit. You know, here we are expecting maybe Dalton to come back and, oh, wait a minute. Never mind, here's Mr. Brosnan. Yes, that's what I call him. There's a commercial that they call him that. Really funny. Anyway, GoldenEye. First, continuing with the trend of not naming Bond films after the Fleming books or having any Fleming connection really, except for the fact that his estate was called GoldenEye in Jamaica. So there's a lot going on in this film. We have a satellite that's orbiting the Earth that's going to destroy the Earth. We have the last resurgence of the Cold War going on here with Bond. We have wonderful characters in the form of Xenia Onatopp and Natalia and Boris, played by I'm blanking on his name, but you would know him if you saw him.
Alan Cumming.
That's it, Alan Cumming. Thank you. And then we even have an appearance by another 00 agent, 006, played by Sean Bean. So with all that going on, as we see the trailer here, Christy, tell us about GoldenEye.
Well, it's definitely in the top 5 greatest Bond films of all time, in my personal opinion, and it's easily, without a doubt, Pierce Brosnan's best work.
Okay.
Best of his Bonds, easily the best, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I I like Brosnan. I mean, I don't like him as much as Craig. I don't like him as much as Connery or Dalton, but I think he was his own Bond, and I could appreciate it. And the thing about GoldenEye was, other quick fun fact, Sean Bean was actually considered for Bond, except he was shot down, except he didn't get the role, but instead they put him in 006. And
yeah.
I'm alone. Aren't we all? You're late, 007. I had to stop in the bathroom. Ready to save the world again? After you, 006. James? For England. For England, Alec. For England, James? No. For me.
Honestly, I really liked the movie. You know, I loved the characters, and personally, it was just, you know, it's all around an excellent Bond film.
Yeah, and I mean, there are some really breaths of new life in this. I mean, GoldenEye, this was made 6 years after License to Kill, so we had a nice long break, and people were eager for another Bond adventure. And this kind of was, I want to say, soft reboot. It wasn't really a reboot, but because it's, you know, the same franchise. We have another Brosnan gun barrel, which is great. And then we even have our first woman M in the form of Judi Dench, along with Samantha Bond making her first appearance as Miss Moneypenny.
Good evening, Moneypenny.
Good evening, James. And we'll meet you in the Situation Room. I'm to take you straight in.
I've never seen you after hours, Moneypenny. Lovely.
Thank you, James.
Out on some kind of professional assignment? Dressing to kill?
You know you'll find this crushing, 007. When I don't sit at home every night praying for some international incident so I can run down here all dressed up to impress James Bond. I was on a date, if you must know, with a gentleman. We went to the theatre together.
Moneypenny, I'm devastated. What would I ever do without you?
As far as I can remember, James, you've never had me. You don't like me, Bond. You don't like my methods. You think I'm an accountant. A bean counter, more interested in my numbers than your instincts.
The thought had occurred to me.
Good. Because I think you're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur. A relic of the Cold War. Whose boyish charms, though wasted on me, obviously appeal to that young woman I sent out to evaluate you.
Point taken.
Not quite, 007. If you think for one moment I don't have the balls to send a man out to die, your instincts are dead wrong. I've no compunction about sending you to your death. But I won't do it on a whim. Even with your cavalier attitude towards life. Come back alive.
With those two ladies coming in, that leaves us with only one original member who's kind of been there since the beginning, second film, Desmond Llewellyn. Desmond Llewellyn is still hanging on his Q, and I just love the fact that he's still there. I really love that.
You finished?
Yes.
Good. Don't touch that. It's my lunch.
There's some interesting things also in this movie. I mean, the soundtrack people can go up and down on. Eric Serra's soundtrack. Some people don't like the techno beat in there.
I liked it. I mean, it was different. But... I think GoldenEye just all around excellent, and Judi Dench killed it in the role of
Oh,
M.
absolutely.
Everybody's always worried when there's a gender change, except Judi Dench just blew it out of the water.
And with M, you can kind of do that. You can kind of have whoever in that position.
Yeah.
Even some interesting things like Xenia Onatopp.
Onatopp?
Onatopp's way of killing people.
Oh,
That's very interesting.
that's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's
She always did enjoy a good squeeze.
it's not your older Bond films, folks. So just keep that in mind. But it's still great, and I think this is definitely a big introduction for Brosnan's Bond. I really think so.
Yeah.
In London, April's a spring month.
Oh, yeah? What are you, the weatherman? If for crying out loud, another stiff-ass Brit. Your secret codes and your passwords.
Thank you. Like you said, drop it.
All right. In London, April's a spring month, whereas in St. Petersburg, we're freezing our butts off. Is that close enough for government work?
No. Show me the rose.
Huh?
Moffy?
Third wife. Jack Wade, CIA.
James Bond. Stiff-ass Brit.
That's a nice move.
Nice car.
Walther PPK. 7.65 millimeter. Only 3 men I know use such a gun. I believe I've killed 2 of them.
Lucky me.
I think not. James Bond. Charming, sophisticated secret agent. Shaken but not disturbed.
So you haven't lost your delicate sense of humor, Valentine, huh?
All you need for an audience. I'm strangling the cat.
Strangling a cat. That is Irina, my mistress.
Very talented girl.
Yeah, I think personally, thinking back, I feel like Brosnan, I mean, this was unintentional, obviously, but I feel like Brosnan was the pinnacle transitional Bond from seriousness to, from goofiness to seriousness.
I agree that. I've always said, this is the perfect blend of like Roger and Timothy Dalton. And all 4 of them came together. Brosnan's like the ideal guy.
Beg your pardon. Forgot to knock.
So people liked Brosnan's performance. They thought it was a good introduction. It was a great film. This even got some nice resurgence in the form of a video game, GoldenEye N64.
Yeah, GoldenEye 007, and that's considered one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah, big stuff there, which is pretty cool. So
a lot of people arguably, the video game is more popular than the movie.
That's true, actually. That's very true, yeah.
You ready?
I'm not going on the helicopter with you. No plane, no train, nothing that moves.
Darling, what could possibly go wrong, eh?
In your dreams
But, you know, people wanted to keep going with this. Before then, before one more thing, an interesting fact is that this is the last film to have Broccoli produced, sort of. The License to Kill was technically his last one, but this is the last one to say Albert Broccoli presents, because he unfortunately croaked. It's very sad.
Yeah, Brosnan was the last Bond to get the Broccoli blessing.
Yes, absolutely. So, with this being said, they wanted to continue with it. So, come 2 years later, in 1997, we get Brosnan's second outing as Bond in the form of Tomorrow Never Dies. Now, Tomorrow Never Dies, I actually like this one as well, because, you know, it's I call it, actually, Calvin Dyson, who's a Bond reviewer, calls it Pierce's Octopussy. It's his movie that, you know, I want to watch a Bond film. I'm going to stick this in here because it's a good romp of a film. So what basically happens in this film is that we have a newspaper tycoon played by Jonathan Pryce, excellently played, I might add. He's having a great time. Who basically, through his ways of working with the news, wants to start a war between Britain, I believe, and China. Now, many can probably say out there saying, wait a minute, this sounds like a modern day, messing with the news and making up, oh, we'll just say it, fake news. But hey, this may have been ahead of its time, who knows? Also rounding out this cast, we have Terry Hatcher, yes, Lois Lane herself from Lois and Clark, so I'm definitely not complaining about that. And we also have main Bond girl here, Wei Lin, played by Michelle Yeoh, who you've probably seen in Star Trek Discovery and Everything at Once or something like that recently. Desmond Llewellyn returns, along with Judi Dench, Samantha Bond, all those guys. There's a lot of fun things in this movie. Great score by David Arnold. Again, I say Jonathan Pryce does a great job in it, and I honestly think that it's just a nice romp of a film. Newspaper stuff, that's different. So as we watch the trailer here, Christy, what are your thoughts on Tomorrow Never Dies?
Well, you know, I mean, I gotta say, you know, Tomorrow Never Dies, you know, just a terrific Bond film. Definitely not, you know, it puts Goldfinger to shame. It's just such a good, no it isn't, it sucked.
Aww.
It was terrible. I mean, what I have to say is that I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but I remember watching it and being like, this is so much worse than GoldenEye. I mean,
really?
Terry Hatcher's hot. She's fine.
So
the main Bond girl is fine. But overall, it was just, this isn't good. I mean, I'm going to probably watch it again someday and realize maybe I'm probably going to think the same thing. This is, but overall, the whole thing was just, you know, not good.
I mean, you know, there are some good aspects about it. I mean, one of the chases that Bond and Wei Lin are on a motorcycle handcuffed, and they have a helicopter chasing after them, and the helicopter blade is like coming right at them, and that's really cool. And the choreography with them switching, driving the bike, motor, clutch, all that stuff is really fun. That's a lot of fun.
No! I'm sorry. Get up. I'm slipping!
Stop fidgeting back there. What are you?
Give me that!
Clutch!
Turn right!
Go left!
Who's driving? Come on!
How many back there?
I can't see! Hold on!
What are you?
Don't get any ideas!
I'd never dream of it.
1, no, 2!
You ready?
Yeah.
Go! Pop the clutch.
Theme song wise, I actually want to mention GoldenEye real quick. Theme song done by Tina Turner.
Very good.
Very cool stuff.
I'm the Golden eye, I found his weakness. Golden eye, he'll do what I please. Golden eye, no time for sweetness, but a bitter kiss will bring him to his knees. You'll never know how I watched you from the shadows as a child.
This one done by Sheryl Crow.
Also very good.
Also very good. And the other thing about this is that Sheryl Crow's song was a add-on because they originally had a song called Surrender done by K.D. Lang. So, which is on the end credits now.
Darling, you won. It's no fun. Martinis, girls, and guns. It's murder on our love affair. It's you bet your life every night while you're chasing the morning light. You're not the only spy out there. Until you say there'll be no more goodbyes. See it in your eyes. Tomorrow never dies. Tomorrow never dies. Surrender. Tomorrow will arrive. On time, I'll tease and tantalize with every line. The you of mine. Tomorrow never dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies is just, it gets a bad rap, as do Brosnan's other films, but I like this film because there's different things, there's a lot of good lines.
Use your relationship with Mrs. Carver if necessary.
I doubt if she'll remember me.
Remind her. Then pump her for information.
You'll just have to decide how much pumping is needed, James.
If only that were true of you and I, Moneypenny.
There's no news like bad news.
So, we seem to have developed a certain attachment to each other. Rather like the last one. It isn't even mine.
I would have thought watching your TV shows was torture enough. Now I know. Was it something I said?
How about the words, "I'll be right back"?
You forgot the first rule of mass media, aliens! Give the people what they want!
Car that he has, it's very suburban looking, but I mean, driving it along with a mouse pad phone, that's kind of fun.
And this I'm particularly proud of. The remote control for your car. Tap twice. 1, 2. Now, draw your finger very slowly across the pad to drive the car.
Unsafe driving will void warranty. Congratulations on a safe journey.
Yeah, no, I like this film. I really do. And I think you and I should do a movie night and double check it out.
Yeah, I'll probably think the same thing, but...
Fair enough. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, but some people were iffy about Brosnan's film. They said, "Oh, could it be better? Oh, could it be GoldenEye again?" So they said, "All right, well, we'll try for round 3." And come 1999, last film of the 20th century for James Bond, The World Is Not Enough. Now, The World Is Not Enough is along the same lines as Tomorrow Never Dies. People get iffy on it. People are like, it's not GoldenEye, it's The World Is Not Enough. But let's mention something here. Let's talk about it real quick, because this film has a lot going on. It has a lot of dealings with the oil industry. That becomes a main theme in this film. We have the return of Zukovsky, played by Robbie Coltrane. Yes, Robbie Coltrane, Haggard himself, is in these movies. He plays a Russian in both GoldenEye and this. We also have a villain known as Renard, and Renard has this bullet in his head that makes him impervious to pain, pretty much. So, you know, you can't kill him for some odd reason. Also, we have a great opening pre-title chase scene here with the Q-boat, that's what it's called, along the Thames in London, so that's fun. Also, some strange casting choices when it comes to Bond girls. We have Elektra, who, again, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her name. But we also have Christmas Jones, played by Denise Richards. Poor Denise Richards. She gets such a bad rap for this film for playing a nuclear physicist. Come on, guys, she's acting. You know, she's an actress. Give her a break. But no,
Sophia Marceau is Elektra.
Sophia Marceau, thank you. Christy Riley, fact checker. So as we continue to watch the trailer here, is The World's Not Enough in that Tomorrow Never Dies vein, or is it pretty good?
It is a 50-50 movie.
Interesting.
It is basically, for me, it was split down the middle. I did not like it, and I did not dislike it. I will say this though, I do appreciate parts of it. You know, Christmas Jones. You know, not Denise Richards isn't the best actress, and it's made worse that, you know, she was married to Charlie Sheen, and that, you know, and I will say that, and I will say this, and I'm pointing to the camera, looking right at me. To the guys, if you find Denise Richards attractive, check out Wild Things. You will thank me. Anyway, back to Bond. I liked this because, and here's a spoiler coming up that I want to say.
Yes. If you don't know Bond, spoilers alert. Go ahead.
Yeah, here's a spoiler alert. I appreciate this film because it is one of the only, if this is one of the only, if not, this might have been the very first Bond film where Bond directly kills a woman by shooting her essentially right in the face. And
that is a great scene. It is a fantastic scene. I love it. I love that scene. Just the dialogue and
and
it's so good.
He just does it, and then and the best part is that here's where the seriousness is coming in. He shows virtually no regret about it.
Absolutely.
He just goes off. He's like, she was evil, and then walks off.
You wouldn't kill me. You'd miss me.
I never miss.
Also, you know, I gotta mention, I did like, you know, the prelude to Q's successor.
Yes.
This was always intended to be Q's last film, but unfortunately, as you will mention in a little bit, it became Q's last film permanently for good, Desmond Llewellyn's. But overall, the movie was very 50-50, and I mean, I will be honest, you know, Denise Richards, not the best Bond girl, but very nice
attractive.
Very nice to look at.
Yes, I mean, and you know, you're right about Desmond Llewellyn there. I mean, Desmond Llewellyn did return his Q as he would. Unfortunately, yes. I'll show a clip here.
You're not retiring anytime soon, are you?
Now pay attention, 007. I've always tried to teach you two things. First, never let them see you bleed.
And the second?
Always have an escape plan.
So in that, you saw him explaining that he was going to retire, and he says his parting words to Bond as he sinks into the floor. This was his last venture, because unfortunately Desmond Llewellyn did get in a car crash and was unfortunately killed. So this was very sad news, but luckily we did have an appearance of John Cleese there, possibly being James Bond's next gadget guy. We don't know. R.
And you might be... This is 007.
If you're Q, does that make him R?
Funny thing about that, Brosnan said that can we change his name to Q later on because his Irish accent, his brogue, was getting in the way of saying R. So funny thing. The World's Not Enough does have some good parts to it. I mean, the Q scene, of course, is great. We have that awesome scene with the helicopter and the giant buzz saws.
Q's not gonna like this.
Now, where were we?
A rope, please.
No, the truth. She has M.
I know nothing about that.
Those blades were meant for you. What does Electric King want you dead for?
It was you who destroyed my factory. Then you drowned my Rolls Royce, and now you're trying to drown me in my own caviar. Let me out.
Oh, too bad we don't have any champagne.
Or sour cream.
The boat chase, of course.
Stop! Stop! It isn't finished! Stop!
And that torture chair that Elektra uses, that's pretty intense. And we get, and this whole thing is, the title is a reference to what we've heard back in Lazenby's movie on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Because we had, she says to him,
I could have given you the world.
Huh. The world is not enough.
Foolish sentiment.
Family motto.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tailry.
Have a look at this. Let me take your coat. Arms of Sir Thomas Bond, Baronet of Peckham, died 1734. Argent on a chevron sable. 3 besants. Good motto, eh? The world is not enough.
Remember that scene from Majesties? Connections. Anyway, yeah, no, The World Is Not Enough is a great, I think for me, is a great third outing for Brosnan. He's doing a great job. Another great score by David Arnold, and another band doing the title theme, Garbage.
That's a good. That was also a good theme, despite the name of the band.
Yeah, yeah. The song is not garbage.
The world is not enough, but it is such a perfect place to start my love. And if you're strong enough, together we can take the world apart, my love.
Yeah, no, I liked The World's Not Enough. I highly recommend that, and so far, I recommend all of Brosnan's films. They're fun. We finished the 20th century with James Bond. People were worried when Brosnan took the role because they thought James Bond's a relic of the Cold War. He doesn't exist anymore. Well, he proved them wrong. He kept going on. So 2002 comes around, the 40th anniversary of James Bond. And people said, well, we gotta make a movie for this year, as they should. Brosnan comes back, and what they deliver is questionably his worst, one of the worst, and just not the best outing. Die Another Day. Okay, so, Die Another Day. Bear with me here. Is it great? Yeah. Is it fantastic? No. Is it god awful?
Yes.
Maybe at points, but as a whole,
it's bad.
It's James Bond. So, here's the thing. One of the first things in this film you'll notice is that when you watch it, Bond is actually captured. For the first time, he's been captured for crying out loud. And he's captured by the North Koreans. Oh boy, is he in trouble. Interesting thing, throughout the entire title sequence done by Madonna, of all people, we see him captured and tortured by the North Koreans. Eventually he's rescued, and he's off on this mission to uncover a guy named Gustav Graves, played by Toby Stephens. And what we find out is that Gustav Graves is actually one of the North Koreans he fought back in North Korea. What? How did he get to look like a British white guy? Oh, simple explanation. Facial regeneration thingy-majiggy mask. Duh. Throughout it all, we also have Bond interacting with his new Bond girl in this film, Jinx, played by Halle Berry. Yes, Halle Berry's in this movie. We also have Miranda Frost, played by Rosamund Pike. And, you know, whenever she shows up in a movie nowadays, I'm like, hey, did you know she was a Bond girl? She's a what now? Never mind. Anyway, so we have a lot of winter themes in this because Graves' palace or something is an ice palace. We have some great car chases, and like I said, and like you saw there, John Cleese is now our Q. So with all that going on, Christy, how bad can Die Another Day be?
in the bottom 3.
Bottom 3.
Bottom 3 of the Bonds. Easily the bottom 3. Down there with On Her Majesty's Secret Service and A View to a Kill.
A View to a Kill.
Easily the bottom 3. They are the bottom of the barrel, and you know what? The 2 Bond girls they're nice to look at in this one, as usual, except this movie was just, I just hated every, the song by Madonna was good. Unpopular opinion,
It
but
grows on you. It grows.
yes.
I'm gonna close my body now.
And the only satisfying moment that was possibly slightly good was Rosamund Pike getting stabbed right in the chest by Halle Berry.
That's a good scene. No, there are some good scenes in this film. I mean, you got the fact that those car chases are pretty cool, I gotta admit.
What took you so long?
John Cleese's Q is fantastic.
You know, you're cleverer than you look.
Still better than looking cleverer than you are. Follow me, please.
There were a couple references to earlier Bonds. He's walking through Q's office, and he's Q's warehouse,
lab.
Lab. And he's walking through, and essentially, as usual, he's causing kind of a problem in it. And so and at one of the times, he goes up to the Thunderbolt jetpack, and he goes, "Does this still work?" And he hits it, and it goes, and he's like, "No." It's pretty funny.
And then I think Roger's crocodile submarine is there, as well as one of the pointy shoes from one of Connery's films. And there's another one there, something. But no, I like that scene a lot. I think John Cleese did a fantastic job as Q. I mean, you know, he's no Desmond Llewellyn, but you know, if we had to have someone, I would have kept on to him for a long time. I think he really did a good job in that role.
Shoot down mobile objects? Why don't you acquaint yourself with the manuals? You'll be able to shoot through that in a couple of hours.
Just took a few seconds, Q.
Wish I could make you vanish.
You know, Toby Stevens does okay as a villain.
Gustav?
Verity.
And Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Have we met before?
Oh, I think I'd remember.
Best of 3 hits?
Positions. Ready. Play.
En garde.
Hit.
2-0. Do you want to continue?
You want to up the wager?
How much can you afford?
Let's play for this. I picked it up in Cuba. I believe it's one of yours.
My. They do get around. But then diamonds are for everyone.
His henchman, actually, from the beginning of the film in North Korea, he got some diamonds in his face, and he still has them in a face.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool henchman look. But yeah, no, the facial reconstruction thing, although it's a great excuse, it is a little over the top.
It's so and then he's this Asian guy with diamonds in his face
Yep,
and blue eyes. Because I think in the middle of it, I think he got stormed in the middle of reconstruction surgery, so now he looks weird.
Yeah, so Die Another Day, it can be a little rough sometimes. Also, the gun barrels are slightly different. Just saw there, we have a bullet going down the gun barrel. We've never seen that before. No. It was a little weird, but yeah, no, as a 40th anniversary entry into the Bond franchise, not the best one. But like you said, the theme song Grows on You, done by Madonna, who actually appears in the film. She appears in the film. I like the car chases, the gadget scene's good, and the Bond girls are nice to look at. And hey, with what he's given, Brosnan puts in a good performance at least. So, with this all being said, Die Another Day just didn't work for people. Some of the scenes just didn't work. We had surfing from Bond. We had parasailing with slightly bad CGI.
Yeah.
Weird villains. Yeah, no, it was a weird mess. So, with that being said, everything was done. Brosnan was done, the company was done, Eon Productions was done. That was it. We had 20 great Bond films. We had 40 years of Bond. Good enough. We ended on a weird note. So, but that didn't stop fans from wanting more. So, a good 4 years later, come 2006, Eon Productions comes out saying, "Hi there. We're bringing Bond back." All right, yeah, let's do it. Who'd you got? Who do you have? Casting went through a whole bunch of things. We could have gotten, believe it or not, back then, and I mean back then, we could have gotten current Superman himself, Henry Cavill. We could have gotten Henry Cavill, which I would have been totally on board for. But they said no. So they went through all the casting possibilities, and someone knocked on Eon's door, and they said, "Hey, Mr. Director," or whatever, or probably Barbara Broccoli at this point, the daughter of Albert. Yeah, they said, Barbara, we have our new Bond." She said, "Great, who'd you got?" "We got a guy named Daniel Craig." "Okay, all right, bring him in. Let's do a screen test." Craig walks in. "Who's this?" "Guys, I thought you were bringing in a guy named Daniel Craig." "Well, this is Daniel Craig." "Guys, this can't be him. This is Vladimir Putin." Because that's who we have cast. This blonde-haired, short guy as James Bond. Against my resignations for that, for some reason it worked in a film called Casino Royale. Now, the cool thing about Casino Royale is that Eon Productions have been trying to get the rights to this film because some guy, let's say his name together, Kevin McClory, owned the rights to that, as well as Blofeld and all that good stuff. Well, Kevin McClory's long dead. And they finally have the rights to Casino Royale. So it's, okay, well, we're definitely doing this now. Enter Daniel Craig. Now, Daniel Craig and his rendition of Bond basically cuts out everything that the other 5 guys have done. You like gadgets? Sorry. You like humor? Sorry. You like puns? Sorry. You like goofy plots? Sorry. All those down the drain. We're gonna pretend that never happened. Because what Daniel Craig offers is this serious, no-nonsense, you make one slight move wrong and he'll punch you in the face and throw you over the banister like that. What is Casino Royale about, though? It's about basically Bond going after a guy named Le Chiffre. And he and Le Chiffre get into this high-stakes poker game. Again, if you liked Bond playing Baccarat, forget it. He's playing poker now. And we have also Bond girl, Eva Green's character. What is her name?
Vesper Lynd.
Vesper Lynd, thank you. See, this is how unfamiliar I am with James Bond. And you know how Bond always felt love for Tracy Bond all the way back in Majesties? Yeah, forget about her. We have a new I want to marry this girl, Bond girl. Vesper Lynd. Okay. And we also have James Bond in the beginning of this film getting his 00 status. So we find him getting how he becomes 007, I guess. And then we also have a weird scene where Le Chiffre tortures Bond in a very interesting way. Anyway, so with all that being said, what went wrong? Why did we go in this route, and why did we just basically throw 20 years of Bond away? Christy, tell us about Casino Royale.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking directly to this camera right here. Do not listen to this mentally unstable, deranged maniac. This man is insanely biased, and on top of this, he's not only insanely biased, he has not even seen a single, including this film, he has not seen a single Craig film, so this man does not know what the hell he's talking about. So, let me tell you something. Craig was a godsend. I'm not kidding you. He was not, I wouldn't say he was a godsend, but he is an excellent Bond. I imagine that when he went into an audition, they probably fell in love with him immediately. But maybe I'm going a little too over the top because he was so critical of him, so unfairly of him too. I will also have to say that Casino Royale is definitely in the top 5 Bond films of all time. There's a great plot in there. You humanize Bond, which the thing about humanizing Bond is, he falls in love with Vesper and then he doesn't get her. It's just, I could talk for an hour about why Craig is amazing. He's more like the Bond from the books.
True.
He's more like the Bond, and he's also maybe he goes in a new direction, but every Bond goes in a new direction. And
True.
Honestly, it is extremely, and Daniel, it is very, very unfair for you to criticize Daniel Craig, even though you haven't even seen a Craig film, including this one.
So, it's hard to accept. I mean, there are things about this film that I like. I like the David Arnold score. So he's back from the Brosnan's films and comes into this, so that's kind of cool. The theme song is fantastic.
It is. Rest in peace, Chris Cornell.
You Know My Name by Chris Cornell, absolutely. The Aston Martin is back. The DB5, in fact, not just any Aston Martin, but the DB5, so that's cool. Thumbs up for that. And as weak as it is, Craig does have one funny line, that being when he's with Vesper Lynd for the first time.
I'm the money.
Every penny of it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, you know.
We know what that is.
Bond is a little bit, here's the thing, Bond is a little bit funny now and then in this one. So it's not fair to say all of his quips get taken away. And
hence the shared suite.
But my family is strict Roman Catholic, so for appearance's sake, it'll be a 2-bedroom suite.
I do hate it when religion comes between us.
Am I going to have a problem with you, Bond?
No, don't worry. You're not my type.
Smart.
Single.
I think Craig is easily the second best Bond ever, in my personal opinion, and a lot of other people agree with me.
No, I mean, and you're right about that. A lot of people liked this movie, and a lot of people liked his performance, and felt like this was the reboot that Bond needed. This was the breath of fresh air, you know. Forget all the other guys. Nah.
Million.
All in.
Call or in. Gentlemen, shoot down, please. 2 pair, aces and sevens. Queen plays. Wins.
I'm sorry. That last hand nearly killed me.
Gentlemen, with this chip exchange, we enter the final phase of the game, which means no more buy-ins. The big blind is now $1 million.
4 players. Monsieur bet. Monsieur Bond.
Check.
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 All in. 6 million.
Bet. 6 million. All in. $5 million. All in. Bet is 6 million.
Race.
Raise. 12 million. Heads up.
40,500,000 all in.
Raise all in.
Well, I think I will call you on that one.
Call. Five and 7 of spades. The straight flush. 4 to the 8. The high hand. Monsieur Bond wins. For you. Thank you very much.
I'd like to believe that Bond stepped into Gustav Graves' facial reconstruction machine, and maybe this is what's going on. I don't know, but I just, yeah, it's just hard to see it. And you know, we do have Judi Dench back.
We do. We have Judi.
That's good. I'll take that.
We continue to have Judi Dench for a couple movies at least.
I'll take it.
We just honestly, I just liked that this is introducing Bond to a new generation.
Yes, it is.
And this is why it's excellent.
Yes, it is.
Everybody gets a new Bond.
feel it, did he? Well, you needn't worry. The second is...
Yes. Considerably.
In a bad way. Anyway.
In a good way.
Anyway, yeah, no, so there were, it goes 50-50 for me, you know, 50 split down the middle. You know, a lot of people like it, I don't like it. But, and you know, we have missing characters. We don't have Moneypenny, except for the joke there. We don't have Q. What happened? What happened? John Cleese. John Cleese, man. Anyway, so yeah, no, people liked this movie somehow, and they begged for more. They begged for more Daniel Craig. So, okay, we'll give you more Daniel Craig. 2 years down the road, 2008, we got another Craig film, but many Bond fans agree, not the best entry for him. That being Quantum of Solace. Now, this is one of the very few instances where we have a direct sequel to the previous Bond film. That doesn't happen all the time. You know, you could say it happened with Diamonds and Majesties. You can say it happened with maybe some of Brosnan's films, maybe. Even with some of Connery's, maybe.
Yeah,
but
and references to others.
Exactly, yeah. Because those 5 guys, remember, are supposed to be the same guy. Enter Craig, ruins the picture. Anyway.
Oh, come on.
So Quantum of Solace is a direct sequel to Casino Royale. We have returning characters like this guy, Mr. White, I believe his name is.
Mr. White. Excellent character.
We also have some new Bond girls in this, one of them being Stanya Katic from Castle and Librarian fame, so that's pretty cool. But the thing about this movie is that people don't like it. They find it a lame one. They find it not interesting, and they can find a lot of problems with it. So as we watch the trailer here, oh, there's another character I have to mention, but we'll get to him. Christy, tell us about Quantum of Solace.
Craig was definitely in the business of smashing records, and this film, Quantum of Solace, decided Casino Royale smashed the record of Honor Majesty's Secret Service as the longest Bond film.
Okay.
Quantum of Solace decided to smash the tied record of, I think it was Dr. No and GoldenEye as the shortest Bond film, and this is a couple minutes shorter.
Okay.
And the thing with this film is, I actually really like this film, but I will admit it is Craig's weakest film. But it is still, it's still good. I mean, I liked it.
I feel like I'm watching a car commercial here.
Yeah, it was a good film. I mean, minus at one point in the background, I think it's in this film, you can see clearly there's an extra who I think was just so starstruck with being Bond, and he's sweeping, but he's not even touching the ground.
Yeah, sweeping the air. Yes.
It's hard to catch, but if you do catch, it's pretty funny.
Oh, it's pretty funny. Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Yeah, and as in the previous film, we still have Felix Leiter, played by the great Jeffrey Wright.
So yeah, Jeffrey Wright as Felix Leiter. We did not get a Felix in Brosnan's films. We instead got CIA agent Wade. I don't want to say Wade Wilson because that's Ted Bull, but his name is Wade.
I don't remember.
Wade something. And he's kind of the CIA agent for Bond in his film, which is fine. That's fine. You know, Bond plays with the CIA all the time. But yeah, no, Felix Leiter returns in Casino Royale and this, played by Jeffrey Wright. Ooh, interesting casting.
He's a good actor.
How did we get that look? I'm just confused.
He's a good actor.
I'm just confused of the casting. That's all me. But you know,
he's what's his name, Commissioner Gordon in the new Batman.
That's
too.
again. I asked the same question.
Is it because he's black?
I'm just confused by casting. That's all.
Okay.
That's all. But anyway, great David Arnold score once again, coming back, saving the day. Sweeping the air is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Hard to catch too, though.
Chimney, chim, chimney, chim, chim, chiree. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim, chimney, chim, chimney, chim, chim, chiroo. Good luck will rub off when I shake hands with you. Oh, blow me a kiss, and that's lucky too.
Excuse me. Thank you. She's seasick.
Also with these movies, you could almost say sort of in Casino Royale, but definitely not in Quantum of Solace until the end of it. There is no gun barrel at the beginning of the film. That hurts a little bit for me because if I want a James Bond film, I want it to start off with that gun barrel. Yeah,
it should always, not to be at the end, it should always be at the beginning.
At the beginning, yeah, because if you're watching a James Bond film, it's like, how do you know you're watching one unless there's that...
Yeah. Also, this film lacks, unfortunately lacks the classic, Quantum of Solace lacks the James Bond line. I think he says it in a deleted scene,
really?
But they deleted it. And I don't know why, because it's like, why, you always gotta have that. And at least in Casino Royale, he says it at the very end, which is actually a killer way to end it, too.
It's a good line, I'll give you that. It's a nice delivery.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
I also will have to dock another 5 points off for Craig. Wow, we must be down at the negative hundreds by now. But that's
no, he's definitely... Craig...
For me anyway.
Craig, we love you. I love you, and everybody else loves you except for, this one outlier.
I got to dock another 5 points because he's not ordering his martinis correctly. He's ordering Heineken's and he's like...
Vodka martini. Shaken or stirred? Do I look like I give a damn?
It's like, come on,
to be fair, the man had just lost thousands of dollars in a poker game.
But that's the line. Anyway, yeah, Quantum of Solace...
Hell, your buddy Roger Moore never even said it.
He drank him.
He never said, he never ordered a martini, shaken, not stirred.
They ordered it for him.
But they never used the line, buddy.
Yes, sir.
The lady'll have a Bacardi on the rocks.
For the gentleman, vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. Shaken, but not stirred. Vodka martini? Shaken, not stirred.
I will say, interesting theme song done by Jack White and Alicia Keys.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, darling, open. I wanna walk you back. A drop in the water, a look in the eye, a phone on the table, a man on your side, or someone that you think that you can trust. It's just another way to die.
This is continuing the trend, actually, of not having the title of the film in the theme song. Nothing we haven't seen before, because Octopussy did it, and Octopussy did it, yeah. Quantum of Solace, if you want to give it a chance, by all means. For Craig fans, it's not Casino Royale by any means, but hey, you know what? It's Quantum of Solace. So the company knew that they had a problem with this, so they said, okay, well, here's two things. We got to do a better one for the next Bond film, and the next film is being released in 2012. That's the 50th anniversary of James Bond. This is a big one, guys.
And surprisingly, at the time, all the Bonds were alive.
Yes, they were. I really wish they could have had cameos. Actually, that would have been fun. Anyway, so yes.
Actually, it was considered for
Connery.
There was a character, yeah, but then they were like, yeah, let's not give the fans something to think about.
No. Anyway, so yes, 2012 comes around for the 50th anniversary, and they deliver one heck of a popular film, that being Skyfall. Now, Skyfall here keeps up with some Craig trends here. One, we don't have a gun barrel in the beginning, 5 points off. Two, we have another interesting casting choice in this way, Naomi Harris. is now our Moneypenny. So interesting. Doc, maybe like 3 points for that.
Why?
Interesting casting.
7 reporting for
But I'm happy to see Moneypenny back. Judi Dench is still here, so up 5 points. Craig kind of shaved his head a little bit, losing some hair there. I don't really know if that's kind of cool or not. We also have Ralph Fiennes making his first Bond appearance as a kind of like second in charge type of thing. And there's Ben Whishaw as our new Q. Or as I like to call him, Discount Big Bang Theory. Why do we have a geek playing Q? But okay. So the plot of this film basically revolves around Bond kind of returning to his roots as a kid, because he goes to, I believe, was his estate called Skyfall?
Yep.
Okay, so his estate was called Skyfall, and we have him going up against this villain who kind of is infiltrating MI6. Silva, I believe his name is, played by Javier Bardem.
Amazing.
Great Bond villain in that sense. Craig is also delivering a little bit of humor here and there because he has a foil now. He has this Discount Big Bang Theory Q, so the two of them go back and forth, which is kind of fun. That's interesting. And, you know, he has some quips here and there, so he's learning. He's learning. However, we do lose somebody. We have our first on-screen M-Death. We lose Judi Dench, believe it or not. Also, I think this is the closest, or one of the few times Bond and Moneypenny have ever gotten very close, except for Die Another Day. We had a scene in there, but that was fake. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, Skyfall. It was huge. I don't know necessarily why it was huge. Maybe because Craig was learning to be a bit of a lighter Bond. I don't know.
It was amazing.
007. What took you so long?
Oh, I got into some deep water.
007. I'm your new quartermaster.
You must be joking.
Why? Because I'm not wearing a lab coat?
Because you still have spots.
Yeah, it was huge. Maybe it was the 50th anniversary. I don't know. I will say this though, and then I'll get to your opinions on the film. Yeah. The theme song. We have the title of the film and the theme song, Skyfall, and this was done by Adele.
Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall.
Is that I would have people in high school, and I was in high school when this film came out, and that actually hurts saying that, and people would be singing this, playing this on instruments, and just humming it, and I'd go up to them and I'd say, do you know what that song is from? And they'd say, no, it's just a song called Skyfall by Adele, and I'd be like, no.
Yep.
It's a James Bond theme. It's kind of like how people think Live and Let Die is from Shrek 3, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it's not. It's from the film. It's from the Bond film. Anyway, with that being said, even the theme song was mighty popular. So why was this film so big? Why did it spark almost every Bond fan known to man and say, like, you gotta go see it?
It was excellent. I mean, the film I remember this Bond film being heavily advertised, and it was overall, I watched it. It was an excellent film. It was a step away. It was a step in the right direction for Bond.
Yep.
And here's the thing, that I loved the villain, because the villain he is almost sympathetic. He almost has a sympathetic backstory.
Yeah.
And he's also secretly deformed, and M dying as M actually gets killed by him, which was his mission all along. He ends up getting killed after, but he basically, he's one of the few Bond villains that succeeded.
Yeah.
No. Soon, your past will be as non-existent as your future. I'll never see you again.
Do you know what it does to you? Hydrogen cyanide? Look upon your work, Mala.
My turn. I win. What do you say to that?
It's a waste of good scotch.
First time for everything. Yes.
What makes you think this is my first time?
With the same bullet. Do it. Do it. Only you can do it. Do it.
Last rat standing.
I suppose it's too late to make a run for it.
Like all I said, I mean, there's some really good scenes in there with Bond going through a train station. There's a lot of fun things there.
Where are you now?
Temple Tube Station.
Along with half of London.
Oh, I see. Here you are.
I know where I am, Q. Where's he?
Bond,
What?
get on the train.
He's keen to get home.
Open the door, please. Open the door.
Health and safety. Carry on.
Not bad, James, for a physical wreck.
Why, thank you.
You caught me. Now, here's your prize. The latest thing from my local toy store. It's called Radio.
I do hope that wasn't for me.
But that is.
We also have a new score done by Thomas Newman, so a little bit of Bond theme there as well. And he does say Bond, James Bond again, so that's pretty cool. It's great train scenes as well.
Are you all right?
Just changing carriages.
I may have a shot.
Negative, there's no time. Take the shot. I say take the shot. I can't, I may hit Bond. Take the bloody shot.
Again, gun barrel at the end. Nice fade into a 50th anniversary logo, but still. Anyway. People loved Skyfall. They said, can we do better? Can we have lightning strike twice again? Maybe. Come 2015, we get Craig's fourth outing called Spectre. Now, I'm going to try and put this all together because the ending of this trailer is fantastic. So what we have here is that we have Ray Fiennes succeeding now as the new M. He's the new M, pretty cool. We have Craig returning with a new bit more hair there. That's good to see. Still blonde, but okay.
Come on. Roger Moore was blonde.
It was dark brown. I want to call it dark brown. Anyway, basically the idea here is that we have Craig finally getting to infiltrate Spectre. We have the return of Spectre from those old Connery films. And who, of course, is the leader of Spectre? Christoph Waltz. And who does Christoph Waltz play? Let's do it, Christy.
Blofeld.
You didn't do the joke. Not Donald Pleasance, not Telly Savalas, not even Charles Gray, not even the guy we saw in For Your Eyes Only.
You should go there.
We have...
Don't forget Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow. We have Christoph Waltz as Ernst Stavro Blofeld, with, I might add, full head of hair. Confused? I am. Why is Spectre not as big as Skyfall? And I mean, there are some cool scenes in here with that plane and stuff like that. We have a new Bond girl, Madeline Swan, played by Leah Sudol, I think I'm saying her name right.
The daughter of Mr. White.
Daughter of Mr. White, yeah, he makes his final appearance. Q returns as Big Discount Big Bang Theory there.
Oh, come on.
All right, Ben Whishaw. Ben Whishaw. And we have some cool octopus logo again, returning of Spectre. Why was Spectre not as big as the other Craig films?
I don't know. I mean, it tried to, and it did make tons and tons and tons of money, except, I don't know, it's just, I watched it, and I absolutely ate it up. I loved it so much. Loved that Batista himself was in it.
Dave Batista's in this, yep.
And I will always know him as only Batista because of wrestling. But,
there we go, okay.
I loved the film, and a lot of people just didn't. I guess it was too long, and I guess I don't really know why they hated it so much, but I really liked it.
Well, Craig's got a nice white tux there, so that's pretty cool. I think, yeah, it's confusing to have Blofeld with a full head of hair. There he is. I don't know why.
He had a full head of hair in Diamonds Are Forever.
That's true. Yeah, Charles Gray. Yeah, of course, of course. Look at that octopus logo. That's the point that I love with the bullet hole. I love that. I think that's great.
And Sam Smith does a killer song.
If I risk it all, could you break my fall? How do I live? How do I breathe? When you're not here, I'm suffocating. I wanna feel love run through my blood. Tell me, is this where I give it all up? For you, I have to risk it all, 'cause the writing's on the wall.
You probably know that James here lost his parents when he was young. But did you know that it was my father who helped him through this difficult time? Over the course of 2 winters, he taught him to ski, and climb, and hunt. He soothed the wounds of the poor little blue-eyed orphan. And asked me to treat him as a brother. My little brother. They formed quite an attachment.
So, you killed him?
Yes, I did. You know what happens when a cuckoo hatches inside another bird's nest.
Which they might have, yes and no, in Craig's final outing, because people were concerned about Spectre. They said, can we do better? Can we continue the story? Thus, we got Craig's final outing in just recently, 2021. We had No Time to Die. No Time to Die had a lot of things coming at it. It had the Aston Martin coming back. It had Madeline Swan coming back. It had Blofeld coming back with, guess what? Spoiler alert twist, he and Bond are brothers?
Well, that was in the previous movie.
Yeah.
They were like adopted brothers.
Yeah, which is absolutely weird, but okay. Craig, not doing well, buddy.
Daniel, you are literally too sad. We're probably gonna, you know what, let's just cancel the rest of the show and it will instead just be a boxing match between the two of us over who's the better Bond.
Anyway.
I'm gonna win.
We have Felix Leiter returning, played by Jeffrey Wright again. We also have the introduction of Lashana Lynch's character of just 007, because the plot of this one is Bond's retired. Move over Tracy Bond, move over Vesper Lynn. He and Madeline Swan are starting to get to know each other fairly well. So he's kind of retired, kind of moved on a little bit, but no, he wants his number back, so he's gonna
So you're not dead.
face off against Lashana Lynch's character for his 007. Q comes back again, of course, and we have Ray Fiennes coming back as well. Blofeld is back as well, like I mentioned, but he kind of gets his quick scene and killed right then and there by Bond's hand.
Yeah, it's a long story.
Let's give a quick thing because we're running low on time. But let's give a quick thing about No Time to Die.
Rami Malek is a killer Bond villain.
Rami
he was
Malek,
born
absolutely.
to be a Bond villain.
Great job.
This film, I can't really say much about because it's so traumatizing.
You're gonna be okay.
But you know, honestly, I will be honest. You know, the reason why I can't talk much about this film, and I probably won't watch it many times again, it's because, I mean, Billie Eilish also did a good theme.
Not my favorite.
It was good, except the reason why is that I'll let you, if you guys want to watch this movie, I won't say anything about it. So, this film breaks a sacred law that you're never allowed to break.
What's that? I
can't say it.
What is it?
I can't say it.
Oh, okay, you can't say it. Okay.
I'm too traumatized.
Okay. I know what he's going for, so I'm gonna say it. Big spoiler alert! We kill James Bond. We kill Daniel Craig. Yeah, that's the thing. At the end of the film, Rami Malek's factory or whatever he has on this island. By the way, great ending of the trailer there. His factory on this island blows up with Craig on it, and we don't see Craig come back at the end. So what happens? We don't know.
I know.
This is one of the first time Madeline Swan and Bond have gotten to know each other so much that the fact is she has a kid. We are led to believe it's Bond's. 60 years, you'd think something would have happened, but it's a movie, guys.
He probably has like 20 children. But also, here's the thing, in the books, he did have a kid as well.
Oh, really?
In You Only Live Twice.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but then I think he abandons the kids. So.
I did not know that. I tried to give Daniel Craig a chance, so actually I'm going to prove you wrong. I did see a Daniel Craig film.
Yeah, but this is the wrong one to start with.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It's Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Start with that.
There were some references in this, though. You hear On Her Majesty's Secret Service theme, as well as the Louis Armstrong theme in this, so there's some references.
Can you go faster?
We don't need to go faster. We have all the time in the world.
tell you a story about a man. His name was Bond. James Bond.
We have all the time in the world. Time enough for life.
Does this mean Craig is the same Bond as the other 5 guys? That we don't know. But this opens the door now. Because Craig is done, this was Craig's final stand. This opens the door for new Bonds.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names out there. Again, really interesting cast choices out there as well. Who's going to become Bond? We don't know.
And there's a glimmer of hope because at the very end of the credits, there's the traditional James Bond will return.
There is, and I want to say something about the credits again. Spectre and No Time to Die have the gun barrel at the beginning.
Except the No Time to Die, I hated it because it didn't have blood.
Didn't have blood, yeah, no.
Which, no, that's not okay with me.
Well, there has been, I'm surprised we got through all 25 films. Can you believe that?
That I've fallen for a lie. You were never on my side. Fool me once, fool me twice. Are you there, the paradise? Now you never see me cry. There's just no time to die.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you want to watch Daniel Craig, if you want to watch Pierce Brosnan, please do. All 9 of those films are fantastic. They are so much fun. Matt sweating in the booth. I gotta speed this up.
Your time's running out.
Definitely check them out. They might not be the best of films, some of them, here and there, but they are loads of fun. Definitely give them a watch. Give all 25 a watch. Connery, Lazenby, Moore, Dalton, Brosnan, and Craig. All 6 guys have something good to deliver.
That was a very unbiased statement of you.
Thank you. I appreciate
Congratulations.
that. I appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anyway, let's end this show with what we like to do best. Who are you? All right, Christy, you know how this game works.
Yep.
I'm going to play a clip, and you have to tell me who it is and or what it is from. So let's roll that clip.
I actually did that, Lace, to help you, because it was going downhill, and there was something missing for me. It was like, it felt, oh, shut up.
All right, Christy, so that is your clip. Who is that and or what is it from?
I don't know.
You don't know. You just don't know.
Maybe Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais? Okay. Well, let's see if it's Ricky Gervais.
It's not.
It's Simon Cowell from America's Got Talent, believe it or not. Yeah, that was from a recent episode he just did. So he's criticizing a comedian, I believe, in this part of it. So that's kind of fun.
Oh, shut up.
Poor comedian.
On that one.
Yeah, he's fun. He's fun. Anyway, Christy, I want to thank you so much for coming on to all 3 Bond films.
It was a pleasure.
It was my pleasure. I hope you come on for more shows.
Maybe.
We're going to do a part 4. We're going to do a part 4 of James Bond. It's going to be not the same thing as all these films, but it's going to be similar. So stay tuned for that. As always, I want to point out a few things. I want to give a shout out to Calvin Dyson, Bond Reviewer. Great Bond reviews and fun stuff there. The Bond Bulletin YouTube. There is going to be a documentary coming out in October for 60 Years of Bond, featuring clips from me, or at least one. And if you want some more fun Bond adventures, I do audiobooks of the 007 Saletti missions, featuring all 6 Bonds and his American sidekick, 00 Saletti. Until we get to the part 4, I said that in quotes, of James Bond. Thanks again to Christy. Thank you to our magic and tech team back there, which is pretty awesome. And I am Daniel Saletti. Thank you for joining us for all official 25 Bond films. And until the next time, that's a wrap.